the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Over the weekend, na ubi piemu ewo oman Ghana, especially in tentan kesiye Twitter ne so a na Paul Adom ochere na etimi trend pa ni nyina ene say Yebeka ya on Tuesday no na good evening Ghana Paul Adom ochere etimi deba betu dwa say Cecelia Dapaa sika no ne house help for no etimi koi okofa no ono Paul Adom ochere etimi adigi deep ena ode analysis no etimi eba beto abonten na all question papers say Cecelia Dapaa ni kunu adwuma be na oye ena afei kwan be na sika no etimi efa so edi ebegu ne dem after say ode analysis no ebeto abonten wie no ene Twitter ene other social media handles no ndie na nya asem kotoa yade se na obia ebobo na adwene ede ma Paul Adom ochere ne no ena Paul etimi ababe react ewo ho ena ochere se aside everything no enedue Paul se one ye maami Cecelia Dapaa ena afi ni kunu etimi ekokohia no omokohia no Nsem-Pii ena etimi etodwa yentie Paul Adom ochere.
Then we stand it that this is what happened. This is what somebody put on social media. He was outraged about this matter. Everybody says Cecelia Dapaa is a thief. Everybody says Cecelia Dapaa's husband is a thief. Everybody says, and I met Cecelia Dapaa this evening. I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story tonight. I met her around 3 or 4 o'clock today. I was with her. I'll tell you what happened, and I was with she and her husband. I shall tell you what happened. Now, which video is that? Who? Video, no. Anyway, sorry about that, viewers. And Terry, take this out when you're doing it. So, I was saying that I met Cecelia Dapaa. Now, this guy, Kofi Asare, he was outraged about the things people were saying. So he wrote, I don't know whether they did. Okay, he wrote as follows. Paul Adom actually revealed important facts the public is unaware of and must be aware of. I will be honest, I was dismissive of this episode of his show owing to the bad optics of this matter and the minister's apparent slow approach to dismiss the facts in the social media day and age. In this social media day and age. So this is Asare writing and saying that he's not necessarily partisan about anything. He said that when he saw my thing, he was dismissive of it. Let's see what he says after that. He says, then someone pointed to the 32nd minute of the show to be very useful. I took the pains to listen and I drove this morning to the court complex. I took the pains to listen as I drove this morning to the court complex. This is his conclusion. They are compelling. Thank you, Kofi Asare. That's what we set out to do. He said that he looked at it and said, oh, what's Paul Adom going to do? He dismissed it. Then somebody said, no, wait. Watch from 32nd minute. And his conclusion after watching is that the facts as enumerated on the show, he describes them as they are compelling. Compelling. He said, with the facts of the charge sheet and background of the owners of the stash as presented by Paul, Mrs. Dapaa may have good grounds to show to the OSP her stash is not derived from corruption or corruption-related activities. That's what he wrote. I don't know Kofi Asare. But this is the Ghana we need to build. Not somebody who drinks apeteshi at 5:45 and comes to wear black spectacles and sit on the TV and say, wait, Jimmy, why? They can't make an argument. They don't. I was going to say something. I can't even say it. Can't they make an argument? And those who hide on social media, they don't show their face, so they are writing. He's a fool. He'll go to jail. The government changes, he'll go to jail. I don't even get it. You cannot, I'm disappointed. Who are they? Are their teachers watching? Do their teachers know them? Are their teachers feeling embarrassed? The guy you taught in JSS2, he cannot make a simple argument. He says, with Jimmy. And then another guy wrote, I get to Auntie C's place. Then I call her. I said, Paul, what about? I said, Mabao. I get into the house. My first time. I've seen the house on TV, courtesy of my friend Cecelia. I've seen it on TV. So I get in there. Then I talk to her. She says, Brabecha Dada. So I walk in, and The old man is sitting by a round table. He's in a Lacoste black and white and his round spectacles. This man, that's the spectacles. That's the same thing he was wearing. This is the one he was wearing. Very decent looking guy. He tries to stand up. He said, "Oh, Paul, Nyame Shao." I said, "Oh, thank you, Jesus." For an 84-year-old man to tell you late 40s that Nyame Shao from his heart is a blessing. And I received it. He said, "Oh, Paul, Nyame Shao." And Rakra, mentimi ahwe na mada. Na anopano na kumasi fo nyina frɛ me na enkola no de gu iPad ne so na, "Hey, na unya charge sheets no way." I said, "No problem." He said, "Hey, where are they, pal? Hey, what's going on?" like that. Until he said, "I said, monsieur." I said, "What is it? Me, I'm going." Then until he said, "You want mo yema obiana?" I said, "Angwamo." She said, "Dapaa is an interesting woman." She said, "You want mo yema obiana?" I said, "I've not heard Angwamo. The name Angwamo, I don't know the last time I heard it." He said, "Angwamo yema obiana." I said, "Hey," and she said, "She ne unim ne dank. I will bet na siajibi." And I was looking at her. I was laughing. This is a woman in trouble. And she was in such high spirits. And then as we were conversing, she gets a phone call. So she picks the call. Écoutez, à bientôt, oui. I said, "Hey, and this is now to French." He said, "Nanka. Now you some French." Now say me French or school because now Senegal class you French. I said, "Hey, what's the French?" And I said, "Oh, the Nsem-Pii na ye, until now Nsem in Paula Domochi Nsem-Pii. Then she's walking away. I said, "I don't want Angwamo, please." I don't want Angwamo. So we had a chat. We talked about how is she doing. She said she's fine. And then her husband comes into the conversation again. He said, "Now, Paul, ufrihi." You know, the old people, they always ask that question. I was with John. Ufrihi. I said, "Omifi kwamu." He said, "Hey, kwamu bay. I just kwamu. Ya kwamu. Oh, mami ne free one asa o papa." I said, "Mami ne papa dina free ho." He said, "Enti John Kuma ya MP." I said, "Aye." He said, "Oh, kwamu de minimum pao." I said, "When is all ya meba?" Then he looked at me again. He said, "Paul, Nyame Shao." And I said, "Wow." Then he saw John. He said, "Obani ana." I said, "Mini papa, I don't know John." He said, "John, who free here?" I said, "John free Bongo, Upper East." Then he said, "Bongo, Bogatanga, 1971, me a project be oh." I said, "Wow." 1971. And John started laughing because he wasn't born, far away from being born. Then he told John the point. John said, "Yes, that project is still there." He said, 1971. That time, it wasn't Upper, it was Upper Region. Me a project be oh. Famous architect of 53 years standing. Famous architect of 50. He's telling a young man that I did a project in your hometown in 1971. And then I'm talking to Dapaa and I'm saying that it's if you're nani. Into Hana we 5 hours. He said 5 hours bang, 5 dear bang hours. You know, this is like that. And then I said, into Hana Mute. He said, He said, then we did see 1976. Who pony awo? I said 76 near me. He said 1976 near better now. I said 76, 1976. I died in 1976 near better. Beautiful house. I mean the house by the courtesy of OSP. We all know how the house looks like. So 1976 they were there. We had a chat and I said, "This is an ML program. See me they make up." I said, "Weekend, I'm in Kumasi." And then he said, "I'm going to Kumasi Sunday." I said, "Okay, so we'll talk." And then we had exchanges, talks. She came to see me off. I mean, you won't believe her age. I mean, if you see her at home, she's very bubbly. And then I saw a policeman there. I panicked small. I saw a policeman. He walked and then opened the gates. He didn't laugh. And I said, "Officer, how are you?" He nodded his head. He didn't laugh. And then I left. I said, "John, let's go." He said, "I said, coffee, you're ready for program." And then we drove away, John and I. I had a beautiful day. I didn't take the Angwamo. And maybe I should go and take it. If viewers think I should take the Angwamo, please send me a text. That's the Dapaa says she has Angwamo. I'll go and collect it. Because she told me that they wouldn't need Dekra. That's what happened. So congratulations. No, that's it. Thank you very much, Daddy, for blessing me with the blessing of the Lord. And thank you, Auntie Cecelia, for receiving me in the house today and giving me all the information. And Daddy, thank you very much. Today is the first day I saw him. And I asked Auntie Cecelia about whether Daddy is related to President Kufuor. And he said no. And she talked to me more about her mother, and about Bantama politics. And, she was Bantama MP before. And then I asked her that, was she ever Minister for Works and Housing? And she said, oh, yes, she was Deputy Minister and the same Minister of State. I said, yeah, somebody told me that. She said, Dapaa used to Minister of Works and Housing under the Kufuor regime. So she told me all that. We had a nice chat. She showed me everything that the people, Omofaha, Omuye and Omofaha, and Omokoha, and Omofaha. Now we're in a D5 hours now. I said, well, anyway, the OSP hasn't said himself that he did anything there for 5 hours. It is news reports coming out. So that was my day. Very long thesis. Please put that up. Let's read that one as well. It was quite long. Very, very long thesis he wrote. Is that it, Derek? Yes, it's quite long. Oh, okay. So it's very long. Let me try and go through it. It says, just like my interest in Good Evening Ghana was ignited by an elderly brother to whom I owe a huge thanks about more than a decade ago, posterity will not be rid of same opportunity, because so long as I yet draw breath, I will make certain of that. I don't get it, but let's move on. Okay. Admittedly, he says, the road has been fairly long, and like any other mortal institution, he's talking about Good Evening Ghana. Is that the beginning? Oh, take me to the beginning. Why did you put me in the middle? Okay, so this is the beginning. All right. Hold on, viewers. Hold on. I'm coming. They say I'm sweating, so they are giving me some cleanup. So I don't want you to see that. So just wait. I'll come back. Okay. All right. So this is the article by Derek. Yeah. And Derek says, for over 2 decades and counting, mighty Paul Adom has been at the very pinnacle of greatness vis-a-vis journalism in Ghana and Africa at large. With wits and zest as mere virtues, he gave birth to a now non-parallel current affairs show that has stood the test of time and mounted his way in of eminence. Hey, the guy Tebrofu. Hey. Comparatively speaking, there hasn't been a better current affairs show in the last 20 years, and I say so objectively. Thank you, boss. Thank you. Good Evening Ghana official over the years has been a forum that has presented most of us with the rare opportunity of not only being fed with unabated current affairs issues, but more so the tutelage in elocution from the host and panels alike. I, for one, stand a huge beneficiary of this particular tutelage, for which reason many have had probable cause to brand me an eloquent fellow of the English language. Oh, I thank you. Derek said he was learning the English from, but his English is better than mine, so I'm not sure whether he learned it from me. Okay, let's go on. Whereas some may critique the modus operandi of Paul Adom, some are equally of the firm conviction that indeed he stands tall in comparison to any. He's a reporter who is neutral, who will be a good political reporter. There's no sports journalist who does not support a club. Kwabena Boy is Asante Kotoko. Does it affect his work? Kwabena Boy is not neutral. He's Asante Kotoko. Everybody knows that. But he's impartial. I am a right-wing reporter. I've said it, sir. I am not neutral. I'm neutral. That's what? I'm not. Is God neutral? God said that if you are lukewarm, he will spill you out of his mouth. You're either hot or cold. That lukewarm, he doesn't like it. And I can tell you, viewers, lukewarm is a pretense. Anybody who tells you is lukewarm is a pretense. All the pretenders who say that they are neutral, they are something. They are lying. They just cannot be bold to say it. I am a right-wing reporter. Full stop. I am not neutral. I'm a right-wing reporter. But I have a responsibility to do my work in a certain way. So, am I CNN or Fox? I'm Fox. Am I Real Madrid or Barcelona? I'm Real Madrid. Am I Manchester United or Arsenal? I'm Manchester United. Am I Asante Kotoko or House of Folk? I'm Asante Kotoko. I am not neutral. Neutral for what? Am I Azuma Nelson or Juvenal or Dennis? I am Azuma Nelson. Full stop. Am I Airbus or Boeing? I am Boeing. I'm not neutral. Why am I neutral? Am I Barclays or Stanchart? I am something, but I won't say it because it's somebody's business. I'm something. Why? I'm not neutral. I'm not neutral at all. I don't want to be. Am I charismatic or orthodox? I am charismatic. I'm not neutral. And that's for Christian religion. I'm not neutral. So this issue of you have a journalist, you have to be neutral. The responsibility on me is to be impartial. So the other day, the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC called me And he says, Paul, I want to come on your show and criticize the Electoral Commission. I said, you are welcome. He said, really? I said, oh, you can come. Why not? You can come. That is the impartiality. I have to host him. I do not agree with his political philosophy, but I'll host him. He came, he spoke. When I Asin North, Elvis Ankara came on my show. He spoke. He said all the things he wants to say against anybody. He did. It's okay. It's fine. So I'm a right-wing reporter. I am not left-wing. I cannot be. I don't want to be. So, but I'm impartial. If there's an NDC story, I'll treat it. If there's an MPP story, I'll treat it. There's a CPP story, I'll treat it. I have friends in NDC and friends in MPP. But my mind is right-wing. That's the philosophy I believe in. And that's how I report my stories. I'm a right-wing reporter. I am not left-wing. No, I'm not. So I'm not neutral, but I'm impartial. And I try to do my work as a great news